right. Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and blessings be multiplied on all you brethren preaching His word in all sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect out there. It's Brother Dama Agabar here with another live lesson, Lord willing to edify and feed the lambs and sheep of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. You know? And as is our custom to do, we come out here week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of Babylon the Great, aka America, and to preach this word to gather the elect of the nation of Israel in these last days. Because ultimately, that's who was really being drawn in these last days through this word is the elect. And that's who the true prophets, the true men of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai in these last days are fishing and gathering is the elect. All right, we're not here to gather the whole nation. We're not here to save all so-called black people. We're not here to save the whole nation of Israel on this go-round. All right, we're only coming out here to save the elect, man. And that's who is going to really, that's who this gospel is ultimately for. And this go-round is the elect. 2/3 of our people, they're going to be destroyed and judged here in Babylon the Great America, and we'll see you on the other side. All right, you'll come through the loins of the elect in the kingdom of heaven, which will all be righteous, will all have the law, statutes, and commandments in our inward parts, and will be blessed beyond measure. You know, but as of right now, the Lord has sent us to come out here and to give warning and to gather the chosen, man. You know, the elect of the nation of Israel. But in the meantime, you know, you have a lot of false prophets out here, you know, especially in these last days. You got a lot of weird activity, a lot of agent activity, a lot of sellout activity. A lot of these Israelite groups are showing themselves to be more of you know, Christians than true believers of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You know, a lot of these guys are out here, you know, just coming up with all type of wayward doctrines that is not sound and that's not whole. And that's why we say, you know, at all times, man, stick to the elders and elders of Great Millstone and the men of Great Millstone, which we believe that we have the 100% truth according to the Holy Scriptures. A lot of these other Israelite groups out here, they just don't have it, man. A lot of them have sold out to Esau. A lot of them are teaching damnable heresies. And a lot of them are teaching more and more, it seems, in these last days, a more Christian-based doctrine, man. A lot of these guys are telling you that 2/3 of the nation of Israel is going to burn in hell forever, which that's not even scriptural. These guys are telling you that you can, you know, you can have sex on the Sabbath, man. You know, they out here prophesying with their head covers. They're bringing guns to camp. There's just a lot of things that are off amongst a lot of these other Israelite groups, man. And a lot of these guys, whether they want to believe it or accept it or not, they came up under the elders and the apostles and the one Westers. But a lot of these guys are starting in these last days to tweak and come up some other way. A lot of their doctrine, a lot of the way that they're conducting themselves as supposed men of the Lord is very suspect, man. It's very off. It's very worldly. It's very world friendly, which, you know, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is not dealing with that, man. All right? We got to come up the proper way. We got to come up the right way, man. And a lot of these guys, man, are just not, you know, they're showing themselves to be false prophets, man. A lot of these guys, like I said, they sold out to Esau, man. And it's and we don't have the concrete proof to prove it, but, you know, the spiritual man can see that, man. You know, like for instance, the IUIC. If you can't see that the Bishop Nathaniel just sold out for filthy lucre, then I don't know what the hell to tell you, man. All right, their doctrine is world friendly. They're nothing more than Hebrew Christians, man. You know, their doctrine is watered down. You know, now they're saying that we ain't supposed to hate Esau, Edom. Now they're saying that, oh, the same thing that General Yohanan said. Well, we don't hate people. We don't hate white people, but God hates white people. You know, a lot of these Israelites are being very PC. They have a world-friendly doctrine, man. You know, they're looking to, you know, they're looking to have more numbers than ultimately focusing on gathering the elect, which is a small number, man. You know, these guys, a lot of these Israelite groups, they got, they're making merchandise of the ministry. They got cash apps. They got Patreons. You know, they want you to donate. They're jet setting all around the world. You know, just doing all these things that's just not convenient, man. You know. Matter of fact, let me get this real fast. Tell you what the Lord said, man. This is 2 Timothy chapter 2, 2 Timothy chapter 4. I'll start at 1. 2 Timothy 4 and 1. I charge thee therefore before the Most High and the Lord Yahushua Hamashiach, who shall judge the quick and the dead at his appearing and his kingdom. Here's the point. Preach the word. Be instant in season, out of season. Reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. See, the Lord commanded us to come out here and to preach, man. That's all we need to do is just set up a camera, go live, do live videos, and just come out here and preach, man. We don't have to get on airplanes and jet set and go all around the world to try to gather the elect of Israel, all right? That's why the Lord created the internet, to do all the heavy lifting. All we got to do is come out here and preach, man. Just preach this word, and that's what's going to ultimately gather the elect. Not all this gimmicks, not all this jet set, not all this world-friendly gimmicks that a lot of you other Israelite groups and you Johnny-come-latelys are trying to incorporate to this truth. Rap music, you're not going to gather the elect by making rap videos and spitting these garbage bars that a lot of you guys thinking is an avenue in order to preach this word, man. The Lord just said, preach the word, man. It says what? Be instant in season and out of season. Come out here and preach, whether it's hot, whether it's cold, whether it's raining, whether it's somewhat, winter time, summertime, in season, out of season. And just come out here and ultimately preach, man. Because remember, the Lord said through the foolishness of preaching. All right? And this is how the Lord wants the elect to be gathered, is by coming out here and preaching his word, man. And it says what? Reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. You got a lot of these Israelite groups who are calling, rebuking, and reproving and correcting guys out of love, hatred, man. Well, it says what? It says with and doctrine, man. So we're not just coming out here and getting on these other Israelite groups because we ain't got nothing better to do, man. A lot of you guys are getting reproved and corrected out of love. But what do you say? Oh, you hating on your brother. You ain't, you can pull me to the side and do all this and do all that. Look, man, either you're going to get it right or you're not. All right? And reproving and correcting is a huge part of Hebrew Israelite culture, man. Because a lot of you guys are just not coming up the right way. A lot of you guys are high-minded. A lot of you guys are young dudes. A lot of you guys are disobedient. A lot of you guys are rebellious. And a lot of you guys have a huge ego, man. That's why you get so twisted and butthurt when brothers do correction videos, which mainly is only Great Millstone who does the correction videos, because a lot of you guys be going off, man. But then when you're corrected, your ego gets hurt. Your ego gets bruised. You call your brother a hater. You hate your brother. Because a lot of you guys outside of Great Millstone got this go along to get along. Look what happened with Priest Daniel Allah when he got corrected on the whole Karagma situation, man. Which, being honest, you didn't, you was tiptoeing, man. You didn't just get straight to the point and say what the Karagma is, man. But then when you got corrected on that, then you want to call everybody a hater. Then you want to do this. You want to cry. You want to bitch. You want to moan. Well, brothers is just trying to correct you out of love, man. Because a lot of you guys are going real left with this doctrine, man. A lot of you guys, like I said, you got this go along to get along. If you don't say nothing to me, I ain't going to say nothing to you. As long as we come together just as Hebrew Israelites, it's all good, no matter the doctrine, no matter any of that, man. Which is completely going off, man. It says, verse 3, for the time will come where they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lusts shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears, you see? Let's go to that word, itching. Because that's what a lot of these Israelites and a lot of you guys who are not in the camp, but a lot of you listeners, you all are fishing and watching all these different Hebrew Israelite groups because you're looking for the right doctrine that fits and suits how you basically want to live your life here. If it's something that you don't agree with, if it's something that cuts you or something that you don't think how it should be, then, I don't want to follow them. I like Sakari because, you can still be a nigga, you can still wear fitted hats, you can still, I want to be a rapper so I can still rap, and I can tote the blicky to camp. Oh, them my type of brews, or whatever other, situation you guys got going on, man. All right? So let's go to that. Having itching ears, man. And that's why a lot of you people, I mean, you come to Great Millstone when you really want to get a deep understanding of the scriptures, but you don't want to come under Great Millstone because there's order. You're going to have to, certain things you can't do. You can't have the long hair. You can't have lineups, man. You can't be out here toting the blicky to camp. You can't be out here with fitted hats on. You can't be out here just winging it and teaching any type of doctrine that you want to teach, man. You got to literally be diligent. You got to go into the Greek. You got to go into the Hebrew. You're going to have to be held responsible for what you're doing, man. Anyways, get that word for itching. It says the word is kanaido. It says to scratch, tickle, make to itch. Here's the point: desirous of hearing something pleasant. You see, and that's what a lot of you guys want to hear. You want to hear something that's pleasing and something that feels good unto you. And a lot of you out there that's listening to the Israelites, a lot of you really just want to be. You just want to hear something that you really just want to hear a world-friendly Hebrew Israelite Christian doctrine, man. You know, you just want something that's going to make you feel comfortable, something that's not going to take you outside of your comfort zone, man. Hey, but that's what the scriptures are all about: discipline and order, man. But a lot of you don't want to be in order. A lot of you don't want to really get down and be down with what the Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai truly requires of you, man. You see? And a lot of you guys, you want to hear something that's smooth, you want to hear something that's pleasant, you want to hear something that fits your agenda and that fits your program, man. If it's anything that goes outside of that, you don't want to hear it. So when you get rebuked and you get reproved and you get corrected for the things that a lot of you guys are out there doing, you buck up. Like I said, you immediately go to sensationalizing. Oh, you hate your brother, man. Yeah, GMS, y'all some haters, man. Y'all hate. Ain't nobody hating on you, man. What the hell is there to hate about? We're all here in this captivity under Esau, Edom. You know, ain't none of us sovereign. Ain't none of us sitting on thrones. Ain't none of us got anything really going on more than the other Israelite group in this world. Yeah, some of you guys are sold out and you got money and you got all this other bullshit. But hey, your doctrine is flawed, man. You ain't doing this thing in all truth and sincerity. A lot of you were doing this shit to become Hebrew Israelite superstars. A lot of you doing this for fame. And a lot of you is doing this to get money and to make merchandise off of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, and to pass it off as if you're really trying to build and gather the nation. A lot of you niggas just trying to gather and fill your pockets, man. You know? And through the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, it's all being exposed, man. So that's why a lot of you guys and you women, you know, you Jake out there, men and women that's sincerely trying to come into this truth, man. Hey, it's too late in the game. You better, you know, be really diligent and making spiritual decisions on who you are truly following and who is really out here teaching this 100% truth, man. Because a lot of these guys, you know, they're real slick. They talk a real good one. And if you ain't spiritually discerned, man, you can be led astray by a lot of these false prophets out here, man. Because they package it up real nice. They make it look real appealing and real attractive, man. But remember, the Lord ain't dealing with the outward appearance, man. All right, a lot of these Israelite groups that's well polished and they all wear the same thing and they're all matching and they're all uniform and they're all marching. Them are the ones you got to be leery of, man. I'm just saying, man. But anyways, I got some precepts I got lined up I want to go into, just basically dealing with a lot of these false prophets out here, man. And it's being made evident. All right. A lot of these guys are taking it back from Esau. You got a lot of these Christian weirdos coming out of the woodworks too, with their bugged out doctrine, man. Because they've been watching the Israelites, they've been learning, they've been, you know, hearing scriptures they ain't never heard in all 25, 30 years they've been in this church. And now they're trying to learn from us, but then they're trying to put their own spin on it and then try to come and attack the men of the Lord, man. Which they're going to lose miserably, but hey, there's a lot of false prophets out here and a lot of deceivers, man. A lot of them know that they're Israelites, and a lot of them are so-called Christians in the world, man. And they know that, you know, starting that great millstone that the Israelites, that we have the truth, man. But like I said, they're going to come with their own spin on it, and they're going to come with their own twist on it. So you got to be in the spirit to be able to discern who is who and what is what, man. So let me get to some of these precepts I got. This is the book of 1 John chapter 4, verse 1. It says, "Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they are of the Most High, because many false prophets to the world," you see? And that's something that, you know, the disciples always was warning the Israelites that was, you know, Israelite foreigners that was coming into this truth about the many false prophets have gone out into the world, man. And the closer we get to the end, the more you're going to see a lot of these weird, old, bugged out, self-proclaimed prophets, man. Guys coming out talking about their King David. You literally got guys coming out talking about he's the Messiah, he's the Lord. You got the guy Jermaine Grant talking about he's the God-sent comforter. And you got a lot of these other Israelite groups that are out here leading people straight, literally astray, man. Going off, man. You know, leading people down the wrong path, not explaining to you the script, not breaking the scriptures down properly. You know, a lot of these guys don't even know what the mark of the beast is, man. When they've been told over and over and over through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai by a great millstone exactly what it is. But what? They're gonna buck up against that, man. A lot of these guys are getting paid off by Esau to come up against it. You know, so you got to try these spirits whether they are of the Most High or not, because there are many false prophets out here, man. All right, so you coming into this thing, man. You better sit down and really analyze who you were looking to follow, man. Because if you in that spirit of I like this part, I like this group because they come like that. I like that group because they like this. I especially like this group because of whatever the case might be. Hey, you're gonna end up being confused, man, and you're gonna end up not having that solid foundation to be able to navigate these scriptures and really understand what the hell is really going on out here. You see, so you got to try the spirit by the spirits, man. Hey, and time ain't slowing down, man. A lot of you Israelites that's coming into this thing, hey, you better make sure if you down with Great Millstone and stick with Great Millstone, man. And don't be bouncing from camp to camp because you're just gonna get more and more confused. You're gonna be, you're not gonna have that solid foundation, and you're gonna be that much more susceptible to being deceived out here by these false prophets, man. And don't get caught up on the outward appearance, man. Don't get caught up because oh, that group looks like they well uniformed and they in order and they this and they that. Hey, man, that ain't always everything that glitters with purple and gold it ain't always what it is, man. And one thing you can say about Great Millstone is we're constantly out here doing videos every day, man. Coming out here on the highways and the byways, week in and week out. We're not asking for no money. We're not asking for donations. Now, if you want to give tithes and you want to donate to the elders and the apostles, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. But we're not going to sit here and tell you, hit that Cash App, get the likes up, hit the Patreon. We're not going to have some secret disciple program that you got to pay a monthly subscription so that you can be on a fast track to learn these scriptures, man. Hey, we just gonna come out here and teach each and every day, man. Come rough, rugged, and raw. No gimmicks, no games. We ain't doing all of that. We're just coming out here in all straight truth and sincerity and honesty to prophesy and preach this word unto our people, man. But you don't get that with a lot of these other Israelite groups, man. All right. So I got that one. Let's see what I got next, man. Get to Jeremiah 14. So, hey, false prophets in these last days. It's prophecy. They're here. They're out here. Waiting to deceive. Waiting to lead you astray. Waiting to lead you down a path that's going to get you totally jacked up if you ain't in the spirit to discern who is who and what is what, man. This is Jeremiah chapter 14, verse... I'll start at 10. This is Jeremiah 14 and 10. It says, Thus saith Yahweh unto this people, thus have they loved to wander. They have not refrained their feet, therefore Yahweh doth not accept them. He will now remember their iniquity and visit their sins. And that's one thing about our people. They love to wander, man. They love to go into all these different philosophies, go into all these different, religions. Hey, and also they love to go from Israelite group to Israelite group, man. Trying to information grab, take some from here, take some from there, treating this truth like it's a buffet, man. Hey, the table and the food and this truth has already been prepared, man. The Lord already has the meat and the wine and everything already fixed, man. You got to sit down at the table of whatever prophet you think has the truth and sit down and eat, man. And I suggest you sit at Great Millstone's table, man, because that's where you're going to get the full 100% truth, man. No lies, no gimmicks. We ain't nobody here sold out to the damn devil, man. All right, we ain't got no Jesuit order going on from the elders and the apostles, man. All right. It says, Then said Yahweh unto me, Pray not for this people for their good. When they shall fast, I will not hear their cry. And when they offer burnt offerings and oblation, I will not accept them, but I will consume them by the sword and by the famine and by the pestilence, you see? And that's ultimately what 2/3 of our people have prepared for them in these last days as well. It happened before, it happened again. You see? And that's the sentiment we have for 2/3 of our people. That really don't want to come down and commit themselves, that's caught up in all these different philosophies, wandering off into black consciousness, Christianity, Buddhism. A lot of our people are into Islam and whatever other philosophy. Some of them are just black. Some of them are atheists. Whatever philosophy they're in outside of this truth, man. Hey, we're not praying for you, man. Nor are we going to lift up a cry for you. But we're going to, the Lord's going to ultimately destroy you and do away with you. And here's the point. It says, Then said I, Lord Yahweh, Behold, the prophets say unto them, Ye shall not see the sword, neither shall ye have famine, but I will give you assured peace in this place. And you got a lot of Israelite groups prophesying peace and safety, man. You had Nate what was that, last year when he was over there in Jamaica or wherever he was, when he was sitting down with that radio host, and the guy was asking him about Jacob's trouble. He said, well, Jacob's trouble, there ain't going to be no Jacob's trouble. It's going to be smooth sailing. You ain't going to have to go through nothing. And the guy was cutting him. I think he read Daniel's 12 when he was speaking about a time that there has never been since there's been a nation, even until this time. You see? And you got a lot of these other Israelite groups too. They ain't really warning Jake. They don't really go into the coming calamities, the coming martial law, you know, the financial, economic collapse that's coming here, civil war, all hell breaking loose, man. They don't really go into topics like that. They rarely touch on those topics, man. All they talking about is, you know, marriages, jet setting, starting businesses, having success, you know. Just come out here and just want to cut Christians, man. Have debates, man. They rarely go into prophecy, man. They ain't telling Jake what time it truly is out here. They're not preparing Jake for the evil times that are coming. They're just telling you to keep the commandments, Lord. To keep the commandments, you ain't got nothing to worry about. The Lord gonna save you, man. You're gonna be saved by keeping God's laws, man. Now, of course, we're supposed to establish the law and keep this law to the best of our ability, but that's not what's going to ultimately save us, man. We're all going to be caught up in the time. We're all going to be here in the time of Jacob's trouble. We're all going to be faced with difficulties. We're all going to be faced with some serious situations coming in the near future, man. We're going to be right in the midst of Jacob's trouble when it happens. But you have a lot of these groups that don't harp on that, man. They ain't telling you, you know, they ain't going into the World Economic Forum. They ain't going into the mark of the beast. They ain't going into World War III. They rarely talk about these things in their ministries, man. All they talking about is having a good old time, donate, build this, we got to build that, we got to have this, we got to have that, all this bullshit, man. You know, that ain't the times that we're living in right now, all right? So you're not going to have assured peace in this place. When you come to Great Millstone, that's one thing we're going to tell you, that you should get your mind prepared for all hell breaking loose out here, and preparing your mind to having to separate yourself from this society when all hell breaks loose, and denying, even if you have to be get your head in the guillotine, the MOTB. You never hear these other Israelite groups constantly harp and go into those things, man, because they're not spiritually inclined with the times that we're living in. It says, then Yahweh said unto me, the prophets prophesy lies in my name. Shit, a lot of these guys ain't even speaking in the names of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. A lot of these guys have totally excluded the name of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai out of their doctrine, man. They'll tell you, oh, the Most High in Christ, or Christ this, or Christ that. A lot of these guys very rarely push and harp on the names of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. You know? You gotta be careful. You gotta watch that. You gotta pay attention to that, man. You know? A lot of these guys have totally taken the names of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua out of the doctrine. Or some of them will say Yahweh, but they'll leave Yahweh Shai out. There's a lot of little things you got to watch when dealing with these other Israelite groups, man. You know? And if, like I said, if you're not in the spirit, you know, you're going to be deceived by this. You're going to believe that these guys truly have the truth when they're leaving out a lot of things and they're breaking down a lot of things wrong. And they're not really gearing you to be in the spirit of the times that we're in. You know? It says, I sent them not, neither have I commanded them, neither spake unto them. They prophesy unto you a false vision and divination, and a thing of naught, and the deceit of their heart. You see? And you have that going on right now. You know? A lot of these guys are out here deceiving a lot of our people. You know? They're giving you their own vain imagination of what they feel is going to happen. You know? So you know, the Lord is making it visibly clear who is on the right, who is teaching you the right things and who is not. And you got a lot of false prophets out here. Like I said, man, they're all over YouTube, man, trying to ride off the coat of the Hebrew Israelites, mainly the one Westers. You got Israelite groups that tell you that the Israel is all black, the BOI, the black only Israelites, man. Just all type of confusion is going on out here, man. That's why you got to stick to Great Millstone if you're following Great Millstone, man. So then once, you might see if I can get that. This is St. John chapter 10, verse 1. It says, Verily, verily, it says, the parable of the good shepherd. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber. And you got a lot of these other Israelite groups out here, man, that are climbing up some other way, that are breaking off from, from the way that this truth was started, man, and how it's been outlined and how, you should be going about this truth. And it started with the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, man. I'm just keeping it 100%. Yeah, you had Nate come on YouTube first, but we know what he was doing. He would come out and teach a little bit, and then you would have to go to their website and buy the rest of the breakdowns. He wasn't going out instant in season and out of season. I remember when the elders and the apostles first came on YouTube, it was part 1 to part 45, part 50. They were just giving you this truth, just giving it to you, just straight rough and raw, man. To where if you was diligent and you was learning, you was eating, man. And then after a while, you see the blueprint of how this truth is supposed to be structured and how we're supposed to go about this thing, man. But you got a lot of these Johnny come latelys, a lot of these weird Israelite groups, a lot of these acronyms, with the whole logo and the whole branding of the Hebrew Israelite group, man. That's suspicious like behavior, man. Like I said, it all started with Jermaine Grant. You see how his shit was. They had the IGCC, whatever the hell it was. He had his name, marketed it. He had his name brand. And you see all these Israelite groups now coming out. They all have that same trend in common, except Great Millstone. That's why when you have Vocab Malone had that video where they was like listing off all the Hebrew Israelites, they, all these other Israelite groups, they all had the same thing. They had, the brand name, the logo, the colors, this whole systematic uniform, like a fucking, like a branded, Israelite groups, man. They got the logo, they got this, they got that, the same colors, it's all gimmicky, man. And that's not how, when the elders and apostles came on the scene on YouTube, it was never like that, man. We just put on garments, come out here, prophesy and preach. We ain't got no building fund. We didn't have no building where everybody got to go and sign up and do all this weird worldly shit that a lot of these groups are doing, man. Because a lot of you are trying to be recognized, but it's all in a worldly type of fashion. And all you're really doing is making yourself a target for Esau to roll on, you dumbasses, man. That's why all you guys can be, all you guys, a lot of you are getting 501c3 charters. A lot of you got the buildings. A lot of you got a location where Esau can easily just come and kick in the goddamn door, man. See, but here at Great Millstone, hey, we just keeping it straight raw and straight spiritual, man. We just come out here and we just kick this word, man. We hang out amongst one another, but that's about it. You don't have no logo or no t-shirts or no manufacturing or no brand that you can link to each and every one of us, man. And a lot of you guys are doing that because a lot of you guys are following after the IUIC trademark. Yeah, trademark. That's what I'm looking for. You got trademark groups, and that's just going to end up coming back to bite all of you in the ass at that, in that day. And you see a lot of these new Israelite groups all coming up in that same type of, way, man. And all you're doing is making yourself a target, man. It says, but he that entereth in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep. To him the porter openeth, and the sheep hear his voice. And he calleth his own sheep by name, and leadeth them out. You see, and that's the thing. You see, it says, and when he putteth forth his own sheep, he goeth before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice. And that's why you got to be rooted and grounded in this truth, man. So that's why us being under Great Millstone, when we hear these other Israelite groups, when we hear them speak, when we hear them going into the scriptures, we can pinpoint when they're going off on particular things, because that's an uncertain sound, man. That's not that voice is not recognizable because they're going off in the doctrine. And we're able to pinpoint it, and we're able to go in at it and reprove and correct, hopefully that you brothers can fix those breakdowns and fix the correction instead of taking it as hate, instead of taking it as a shot to your ego, because ultimately ain't none of us perfect out here, man. There's one thing I always notice is that when Great Millstone correct these guys never correct the elders and the apostles and the men of Great Millstone. Now, of course, sometimes you may slip with your tongue, but not in your heart. But ultimately, it's always Great Millstone, the one that's catching these other groups and their errors and trying to correct them and reprove them. It's never the other way around, man. You see? This is the point I wanted. It says, and a stranger will they not follow, but will flee from him, For they know not the voice of strangers. You see, and that's why you got to be rooted and grounded in this truth, man. Have that solid foundation. And that's one thing I know for sure all the sincere brothers of Great Millstone has. That's why when we hear these other Israelite groups, when they say things that are right, we commend them. We say, yeah, that's right. But when you go off, we can't follow after that, man. We're not going to be deceived by that. We, brothers call it out, and brothers do correction videos, to correct that person, and also so that we can be edified, so that we can continuously stay sharp and to stay on point, man. But you don't get that at a lot of these other Israelite groups, man, because they're all in the go along to get along game. As long as you a Hebrew Israelite, brother, we can come together under any manner, we can come together under any situation, in any circumstance, when the scriptures tell you to be not unequally yoked with, well, not unbelievers, but can two walk together except they be agreed? Which is why you're not going to see us getting together with Sarnetta. You're not going to see us having a cookout or a gathering with any of these other Israelite groups, because we don't agree on everything, man. Now, we agree that we're all Israelites. A lot of you guys teach a lot of the right things, but there's certain things that you continuously go off on and you refuse to be corrected and rebuked about. You see? So if you refuse to correct it and refuse to rebuke it, when you teach it and you're teaching it wrong, you're basically being a false prophet, man. You're leading Jake astray. You're giving him the wrong breakdown. You're giving him the wrong understanding of that particular scripture, therefore which could cause them to stumble and fall. It says, therefore thus saith Yahweh concerning the prophets that prophesy in my name, and I sent them not, yet they say, sword and famine shall not be in this land. By sword and famine shall those prophets be consumed. You see, so you don't want to be in the position to be judged in that manner, man. All right, because you're gonna have that blood on your hands, and the Lord is gonna require it of you. So any of these groups out here teaching that we ain't gonna be in Jacob's trouble, all hell is not about to break loose, that we're going to have a smooth and safe and prosperous walk into the kingdom of heaven, hey, you better get away from those guys, man, because the scriptures don't say that. The scriptures tell you through much tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom of heaven. So how the hell is it going to be some smooth transition, man? It's going to be a very dire situation, man. And if you don't have the names of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, and you don't have faith and belief that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua can deliver you out of any situation, then you're going to end up being overtaken. You're going to end up bowing the knee to Esau. You're going to end up taking that MOTB. You're going to end up getting weak and ultimately trying to save your life instead of trying to lose it for righteousness' sake, for the names of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. It says, and the people to whom they prophesy shall be cast out in the streets of Jerusalem because of the famine and the sword, and they shall have none to bury them, their wives, nor their sons, nor their daughters, for I will pour their wickedness upon them. And the Lord's going to use Esau, Edom in these last days to do that, man. And those of you that are being duped and being deceived by these false prophets, those of you that are coming up to the comment board and coming to the aid of these false prophets, and you're going along and you're following them, hey, when all hell breaks loose and that judgment comes, and you done followed their false prophecy and their false teachings, and you go down that path, hey, the Lord's going to allow Esau to get you, man. And you're going to be judged and you're going to be destroyed out here. See, so you can see how important it is to make sure you're following after the right doctrine and after the right prophets, man. Because there are many false prophets, man. There are false prophets all throughout Babylon the Great, man. And there's more false prophets than there are true prophets, man. That's a fact, man. Just like there's more wicked Israelites than there are righteous Israelites. And a lot of these guys have sold out to the damn devil, man. Here it is. You got so-called Hebrew Israelites worth hundreds of millions of dollars, man. They tell you that Yahushua didn't even have a roof to lay his head in, man. Scriptures tell you that the Lord became poor. He was rich, but he became poor, man. Now I don't mean that you're going out here living on the streets. You ain't got no house and no apartment, but it's just showing you that that Yahushua didn't come in that type of spirit, man. Let's get this Matthew 7. So you got to beware, man. A lot of these guys out here playing prophet. A lot of these guys out here pretending to be men of the Lord. Like I said, they got $100 million congregations, man. Come on, man. That don't even make no sense whatsoever. A lot of these guys got 501c3 charters, man. Basically a pact with the goddamn white man. But you got Nate telling you, oh, we don't hate the white man. You got to do business with him. I would never do business with the white man. Well, you got a 501c3 charter. What the hell you think that is, man? That ain't you doing business with the damn devil. That ain't you, getting a tax exemption with the United States government so that you can, prolong your organization. And we know that that comes with a gag order. We know that you can't speak the whole truth. So you ain't fooling nobody. Well, you ain't fooling us, man. You ain't fooling none of the elect. We see right through all of that bullshit, man. And it's like every time this guy opens his mouth, every time he goes on one of these war tours or in Africa or one of these interviews he gives, he puts his foot in his mouth, man. He gets seen, man. The Lord is exposing this guy, man. Riding on the horse, all this pride, all this. It's like you can't see it. I don't know what the hell to tell you, man. Because it's just blatantly obviously that this man ain't right, man. This is Matthew chapter 7, verse 13. It says, "Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go thereat." You see? And what is the broad way? Having this world-friendly Israelite doctrine, man. Having your organization linked to this world, man. That's the broad way, the easy way, man. See, this thing is supposed to be a straight and difficult road, man. It's supposed to be fire on the one side and water on the other side, man. It's not supposed to be this huge, broad, fruitful, worldly type of situation, man. See, it says, "For broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go thereat. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it." You see? So this is supposed to be a road of difficulty. It's not supposed to be some broad, wide, world-friendly, bringing in hundreds of millions of dollars, a huge financial benefit coming into this truth, man. Scriptures tell you that the disciples, when they came together, everybody sold everything that they had, and they had all things common, man. You think they were sitting on $150 million? You think they had, there was, jet setting and having, they wasn't doing none of that, man. Here's the point. Verse 15, it says, "Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves," man. You see, they come in sheep clothing, they come looking the part, they come looking like they're humble and they're meek, and they're all about, the nation and building and doing all this shit. But really, a lot of these guys are just in this shit to make money and to get fame and to line their pockets, man. To make merchandise of you. And a lot of them have sold out to the damn devil, and they have made a covenant with death. And when all hell breaks loose, they're going to dip out the back door on a lot of you guys, man. On a lot of you simple-minded zombies out there. Let's get this, man. Let's get this ravening. Let's see what that word means. It says ravening. It says the word is harpax. It says rapacious, ravenous, an extortioner, a robber. You see? A lot of these guys are extortioners, man. That's why a lot of these guys, they're not really fishing for the elect. They're all about the numbers. They're all about getting this. We're going to save the whole nation. We're going to have the community. You got to donate. That's because they're just looking to make all the money they can off of you jakes while feeding you a GMO doctrine, man. And who's the majority of these people that are donating and giving all this money to these false prophets? Are a lot of you women out there, man. A lot of you are being extortioned. A lot of you are being robbed. A lot of you are being deceived, man. The scriptures tell you that. They break into houses, leading captive silly women who could never come to the full understanding of the truth. See, because a lot of you are in these different groups because they scratch that itch. They prophesy smooth things unto you. They tell you everything that you need to hear, that make you feel good, man. But you ain't really, when it comes to the more serious things, when it comes to the truth of the matter, you don't want to hear that. And you buck up against it, man. So a lot of these guys are ravenous wolves. They're extortioners, man. Right? They shining, they getting fat, and they leading you astray, man. They ain't giving you the 100% truth. They ain't even telling you the true names of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man. They're not giving you the keys to success. They're not giving you the proper keys to salvation. It says, "Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. See? And that's how you know whether it's good or not. Look at the type of fruit that they're producing. Look at their members. Look at the men that's that's under them. Look at what they're doing, man. See? And that's how we know that a lot of you Israelite groups, you ain't doing this thing 100% the right way. There's a lot of wickedness going on in your congregations, starting with the heads on down, man. I mean, shit, just look at Nate and his congregation. Look at Sakari and their members, man. They mimic what their elders and their teachers are like. In the IUIC, they're proud as all hell, man. They're proud. They think their shit don't stink. They look down on other Israelite groups. They call us bums. And, you know, you look at the Sakari members, a lot of them follow after them. A lot of them are, you know, younger guys. They're more rebellious. They're more high-minded. They're heady. You know, they buck up against the elders and the apostles. You know, they carry the blickies. You know, they're disobedient. They come up their own way. You know, you can see, you know, you can know a tree by its fruit, man. You can see how their members act compared to how the leadership is. And look at Great Millstone. We are in the same spirit as the elders and the apostles, man. We keep it simple. We ain't got the gimmicks. You know, the brothers teach, brothers are diligent, brothers go into the Greek and the Hebrew, brothers are constantly just putting out information and edifying and doing lessons and shows and teaching and gathering the elect, man. You know? So, it is what it is, man. Let me go back here. It says, even so every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire, whereby by their fruits ye shall know them. You see, and that's how you're able to judge and look at these different Israelite groups, whether you can discern who is good and who's bad, man. Now, of course, we know that you got some of the elect amongst these other Israelite groups, man, but you got the main ones that are in the positions of leadership. You know. You know, you can see the rottenness within them. You can see that they ain't 100% all there, man. So that's why you got to be able to judge the situation and look at what's going on amongst these groups, man. Look how they act. Look how they conduct themselves. Look how the members conduct themselves, man. You know, you can see all of the drama that they get. Look at the IUISUPK and the IUIC. They're just duping it out and fighting all over the goddamn place, man. You see? That's why you know, these groups, they shouldn't be coming together like that, man. It's like if you see another Israelite group, hey, just go down the block, man. But these guys are on that. This is General Yohana's corner. You know, you got the IUIC. They be block banging, man. Marching on other Israelite groups, trying to assert their dominance over other Israelite groups, man. There's plenty of corners and plenty of avenues to where all of us can come out here and prophesy and preach this word, man. You see? So you got to be on point, man. You know. It's verse 21. Not everyone that saith unto me, Yahushua shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out devils? And in thy name done many wonderful works? And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. Because you got a lot of guys that will say, oh, Yahushua, Yahweh, Yahushua, they'll teach you the names. But ultimately, their intentions are not right. You know, they're not doing this in all truth and sincerity. Like I said, a lot of these guys are doing this for fame. They're doing it for money. They're doing it for clout. You know, they're doing it to uplift themselves and to satisfy their own belly. A lot of these guys are, you know, tell you that we ain't got to worship Yahushua. They'll tell you can have sex on the Sabbath. Just all type of different things, man. To where these guys are not really doing the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua in all sincerity and truth. And they're telling you that you're Israelites. They'll tell you to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, but there's a lot of other things within their doctrine that's not the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. You know, you got the whole Hebrew defense unit. That's not the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. You know? The Lord said, wait ye upon me. Our salvation is going to come through Yahushua, not through our own means, not through our own force. You know? So, you know, you got to do the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man, and stick to that, man. Stick to what's written within these scriptures, and teach Jake, you know. So, my precepts. You know? Hey, cause you got a lot of wicked Jake out here, man. A lot of wicked niggas out here, man. You know? Oh, this is Jeremiah chapter 5. Jeremiah 5:26. It says, "For among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait as he that setteth snares. They set a trap. They catch men." Yeah. You got a lot of guys that's using this Hebrew Israelite thing of ours as a trap to catch men, to make money, to get followers, man. You know, to make merchandise, to become rich, you know, to become something in this world because they never was anything else in the world, you know. So you got a lot of wicked men amongst our people and women as well, man. You got a lot of these, you even got some of these false ass prophetess chicks out here who know they're Israelites, but they come out here acting as if the Lord set up women to come out here and to prophesy and preach, man. When the scriptures clearly say that a woman should not usurp authority over a man, nor should she teach. But they'll still come out here anyway talking about, I'm a prophet, I'm Deborah, I'm this, I'm that. Coming out here totally being out of order, man. And you got a lot of Jake out here who was wicked as all hell too. So you got to be wary, man. That's why you got to observe and watch and take heed to a lot of these Jakes out here, man. And not get caught up in this believing that everybody that's every Jake that greets you and say shalom is righteous. Because you got a lot of black niggas, black Israelites, man, who ain't changed, who ain't really fully coming to this truth. They haven't fully become those new creatures in Yahweh Shem Shai. But they're the same old crusty, dusty, rusty nigga that they were in the world. Now they just know that they're Israelites, man. And got a beard on their face. You see? It says, as a cage is full of birds, so are their houses full of deceit. Therefore they are become great and waxen rich. You see? You got a lot of these major Israelite leaders have waxen rich, man. That's why you don't see General Yohana and Nate out here on the highways and the byways week in and week out, man. Because they've waxen rich. They believe that they're too good to come out here on the highways and the byways and teach the word week in and week out, man. Well, what? You see the elders and the apostles out there every weekend and week out. They ain't taking no breaks. They ain't taking no vacations. They ain't going to Africa, South Africa, Nigeria. And you got Great Millstone has gone global, man. You got GMS Italy, GMS England, GMS Holland, GMS Virgin Islands, man. Jamaica, you know, Mexico, Puerto Rico. You know, you got Great Millstone camps all over the world, man. And they never once had to hop on an airplane or hop on a jet and go and see about those Israelites that was out there. Because the Lord has given us this word to do that, man. Matter of fact, look at this real fast. You see? But you got these guys out here, you got to donate. We got to go out to Africa so we can teach those Israelites out there. Well, guess what? You got GMS camps in Africa, man. And the elders never hop on the airplane and step foot on the soil of Africa. They just preach this word as the scriptures have commanded us to do, man. Have it in my mind. Let's do it like this. That's what this technology is for, right? I was thinking Proverbs 19, but it's Psalms 19. Okay. All right. So like I said, the elders and the apostles never had to hop on an airplane to gather these different men that are in these different camps of Great Millstone, man. This is Psalms 19:1. It says, "The heavens declare the glory of the Most High, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge." You see, it says in the margin, it says reveals. And how is that being done? Through the internet, man. See, this is why the elders never had to go to Italy, never had to go to England, never had to go to Tanzania, man, and these other different places where these brothers have set up Great Millstone camps, because the internet is doing all the heavy lifting. You see, that's how brothers are being gathered, and the elect are being sealed with this word, is by the preaching. That's why I read that in Timothy's, man. Just preach the word, man. The Lord said, just preach, and the Lord's going to take care of everything else, man. It says, there is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. Their line is gone out throughout all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. See, and that's the internet scripture, man. This is how this truth is being heard, and this truth is being proclaimed, man. You know, it can be heard in any language via subtitles, man. The technology exists now to where they don't have to travel and do all these different missions like the Apostle Paul and the disciples had to during their day, man. Now the Lord has made it easy through the internet to where these videos can be heard and seen worldwide, globally, man. It says, their line has gone out throughout all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. And them have he set a tabernacle for the sun, you see, which is a measuring line, man. So we don't have to go out here and do all this and get donations and gather all this money to, you know, buy plane tickets and get boarding passes and passports and all this other BS that a lot of these groups are telling you. That's why we need your money, so we can go and do all this and travel and go to Africa and set up schools there. You ain't got to do all that, man. Just preach the word and be in season and out of season, and the Lord's going to take care of everything else, man. This is a... This is Romans chapter 10, verse 14. It says, this is Romans 8, 10 and 11. It says, "For the scripture saith, whosoever believeth on him shall not be ashamed. There is no difference between the Jew and the Greek, for the same Lord over all is rich unto all that call upon him." And that Greek is representing the Israelite foreigners, all right? Don't get simple thinking it's talking about heathen nations, all right? It says, "For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved." And that's only for Israelites, man. Mainly the elect. That's the only ones who can call on the name of the Lord and be saved, all right? It says, "How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher?" Like I read in Timothy, just preach the word, man. This is how Jacob's waking up to the names of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. How our people are waking up to the fact that we're the 12 tribes of Israel, man. It's by this word being preached, and it's being put on the internet, and it's going all throughout the four corners of the earth, man. It says, "And how shall they preach except they be sent?" Like I read earlier in, what was that, Jeremiah 14, all right? How can they be sent? How can they preach unless they be sent? The Lord has sent his true prophets and his true leaders to come out here and to preach this word and give our people the 100% truth. And it's starting with the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, man. That's who was commanded to come out here and to be sent and to preach this 100% gospel, man. And you got a lot of guys who are not sent but are still out here preaching. But guess what? Like I read in Jeremiah, those that are out here that's not sent, they're going to be dealt with eventually when all is said and done. It says, "And how shall they preach except they be sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace and bring glad tidings of good things. But they have not all obeyed the gospel. For Isaiah saith, Lord, who have believed our report? So then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of the Most High." You see, that's how your faith gets built up. That's how you get deeper into this knowledge, is by hearing this word. And first you got to hear the prophets of the Lord, man. And like I said, and you can hear them how? Via the YouTube. And you got other platforms. Brothers are on TikTok. Brothers are on, we used to be on Daily Motion for a while. And those old videos are still up there on Daily Motion. But now you have all these, mainly through the YouTube, but you have all these other platforms to where the men that are sent to preach are preaching. Or you can see them live and in action in whatever city, whatever town, whatever state that different brothers are in, whatever countries they're in, when they're out there speaking live, you can go out there and hear this word, and you can be edified, and your faith can be built up by hearing the prophets preach, man. It says, so then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of the Most High. But I say, have they not heard? See? So can't nobody say that they haven't heard, because like I read in Psalms 19, it has gone throughout the whole earth. Everybody knows about the Hebrew Israelites, you know, whether good or bad. Because you got a lot of people that, you know, they hear negative shit about us. Oh, all the hate group. You got that one bald head pastor, cool, talking about, oh, there ain't no difference between the KKK and the black Hebrew Israelites, which is a damn lie. Which is a blatant, absolute lie, because a lot of these Christians are bucking up against the Hebrew Israelites because people ain't going to church anymore. People have woken up to the fact that y'all ain't telling the truth in those churches. All right? And a lot of them are waking up to the fact that they're Israelites. Now, they may not fully come into this thing, but what we're out here preaching makes way more sense than what the churches have been preaching and feeding these people for thousands of years, man. Well, mainly since you, Jake, been over here in the Americas, you know, that plantation Christianity that you're drunk off of. See? It says, but I say, have they not heard? Yes, verily, their sound went into all the earth, and their words unto the ends of the world. See? Unto the ends of the world, man. How? Via the internet, via this World Wide Web, through these different satellites, and how, you know, this communications technology has progressed, man. And this is why the Lord, let me get that real fast, man. And that's why, that's the main reason why the Lord even invented the internet, was for the elect to be gathered and for this word to be preached, you know, which we're preaching to gather the elect and to gather the chosen of the Most High, but also to prophesy unto you heathen nations and to let you know the future of Babylon, the great America, and the return of our Lord and Savior Yahushua HaMashiach, who he's coming to deliver, who he's coming to punish, you know, where you heathen nations are going to fit in the future, of how you fit in prophecy, you know, all these things. This is exactly why the internet was set up, not to you know, record your child's first steps, or not to you know, you have all these stupid ass, you know, watch people shove food down their face, not to see niggas out here acting like complete utter buffoons, you know, doing all these food challenges, eating macaroni and cheese and acting like he having a seizure on the goddamn restaurant. You know, you got that one buff coon nigga who be eating chicken burgers and dancing and cooning all over the goddamn place. The Lord didn't create the internet for all of that bullshit. The Lord didn't create the internet for you bitches to be on OnlyFans shaking your fat, rubbery, fake, fat injected asses, man. But for this word to be preached, man. All right? For the elect to be gathered. What was I about to get? Oh, yeah. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 1. I'll start here. This is let me see. Oh, this is 1 Corinthians 1 and 18. It says, the title says, the wisdom of the Most High. It says, for the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness. Right. So 2/3 of our people, us coming out here and prophesying Yahushua crucified, dying for our sins, that's how we're going to be redeemed and brought back and saved from our sins. To 2/3 of our people, that's foolishness, man. That don't make no sense. They can't get down with that. They ain't trying to hear all that, you know? It says, but unto us which are saved, it is the power of the Most High, because we understand why Yahushua came to sacrifice himself and what that opened us back up to. It opened us back up to being, you know, to open us back up to be accepted back of the Most High, man. As long as to our repentance and returning back into the Lord and to be delivered and saved. It says, for it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise and will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. And how's that happening? By the weapons of our warfare being now carnal. By us coming out here on these highways and the byways and tearing down all these strongholds, all the lies, going into true history, debunking the false history. You know, exposing all of Esau's lies and his deceptions and his BS, man. Shutting down this false doctrine of Christianity. All through the spirit and power and the word of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. This is how we're destroying the wisdom of the wise, man. You know, and bringing to nothing the understanding of the prudent. Right, cutting college professors, all these PhDs, Vocab Malone, Dr. Brown, what's his name? Dr. Dr. White the Edomite and Dr. Brown, whatever the hell his name is, they all be getting cut and sliced and diced by a bunch of niggas as they see us, man. A bunch of unlearned niggas, man. But through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, you're coming up against the prophets and the servants of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. And that's why everything that you prop up, it gets chopped down through the spirit of truth. It says, where is the wise, where is the scribe, where is the disputer of this world? Have not God made foolish the wisdom of this world? And that's one thing you come to realize when you come into this truth. Just how foolish all this so-called worldly wisdom, the wisdom of this world is completely and utterly foolishness, man. Because it's basically in opposition to the wisdom of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. All of this so-called science, this technology, you know, the philosophies of this world, you know, these universities, all that shit is a bunch of damn bullshit, man. It's all wickedness and it's all trash. I forget that president, I forget his name, I don't know if it was Roosevelt or one of them, even he said a thorough understanding of the Bible is better than any college education that you can ever get, man. Because this is the true wisdom. This is the holy understanding of everything, man. Everything is contained within the scriptures, man. How to live, how to interact between man and woman, you know, how you should live, what to eat, what not to eat, you know, how the earth was made, how, you know, man should interact on this planet and on, you know, in righteousness and holiness in the ways that lead unto immortality, man. You're not going to gain that type of information here in Esau's system or in his universities, man. All you're going to learn in these schools and these universities is how to ultimately destroy yourself and to be a goddamn enemy of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. See? It says, I read that. It says, for after that, in the wisdom of the Most High, the world by wisdom knew not God. It pleased the Most High by the foolishness of preaching to save them that believe. See? And this is how we're going to be saved, is through the foolishness of this preaching. Because, and look at that word foolishness. Because what we're out here doing to the eyes of these people in the world is foolish. Go get a job. You niggas got no dresses. Them niggas is crazy. Y'all don't know, you know, false prophets and this and that. They buck up and come up against us because, you know, the Lord has nothing in them, man. You see? Word for foolishness. And the word in the Greek, the word is morea, or just says foolishness, absurdity, silliness. Let's look at the root of that. It says impious, godless. It says dull or stupid, as if shut up, heedless, blockhead, absurd. Hey, and that's how they look at us when we're out here prophesying and preaching this word. Like we're absurd, like we're foolish, like we're crazy, man. And that's funny, right? Because when you watch these movies, they always show like the ancient prophets or the men out there with the signs, holding up the signs saying God is coming back at the end of the world. They always make them look crazy, like homeless people. Like they're out of their mind, like they're bugged out. So us coming out here doing the same thing, that's how the world looks at us. As if we're foolish, you know? As if we don't know what the hell we're talking about. Like we're imbeciles, man. What is that? I'm trying to figure out where I was. I forget. Let me go to the next precept. Anyways, get this Micah 3 and 11, man. All right, so that's how they look at us, like we're foolish, but not even knowing that, hey, we're the most important men on this planet Earth, man. You know, the elect of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, the prophets of the Lord, are the most important men on this planet right now. The only ones out here telling the truth and nothing but the truth. We're the only ones that's telling everybody what's going to happen. I mean, what has happened and what's going to happen. We're the ones telling you how this world is going to end and how the new world to come is going to be ushered in, man. We're the ones telling you that these so-called UAPs or these UFOs are really the chariots and the angels of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man. Right? We're the only ones out here declaring this truth. But like I said, into this world, it's foolishness. It's dull-hearted. It's stupid. It don't make any sense. But it makes all the sense in the world, man, to the elect. And that's why this word is only for the elect, man. Let's get this. Micah 3 and 11. This is I'll start at 9. This is Micah chapter 3, verse 9. Hear this, I pray you, you heads of the house of Jacob and the princes of the house of Israel, that abhor judgment and pervert all equity. You see? That's what you got. A lot of that is going on amongst these different Israelite groups, man. You see, they're perverting all equity and they abhor judgment, man. They don't want to hear the true scheme. They don't want to be told they're going off. They don't want to be told what's ultimately really is going on. They want to give you some false sense of reality. They want to give you this false sense that everything's going to be all right. Ain't no trouble coming. You're going to have a smooth sailing in a Dion Heisman walk into the kingdom of heaven, which is just not true. It says, they build up Zion with blood and Jerusalem with iniquity. You got this going on right now, man. These Israelite groups are raising up Jerusalem with blood and iniquity and false prophecies, man, and deceit. It says, the heads thereof judge for reward. Right. These guys, they only come out when it's time to make money, or when they do some new groundbreaking thing, or when they're having some type of get together or festival, or they can come out and speak at an opportunity to where they can make some money, man, or they can uplift their own names. You see? It says, the heads thereof judge for reward, and the priests thereof teach for hire, and the prophets thereof divine for money. Yeah, hit the Cash App, family. Yeah, get them likes up. Some of these guys even got their damn YouTube videos monetized, man. And then they teach the word. They're very PC. They make sure that they don't offend. They make sure they don't say things that could get them in trouble. And the newest one is that we don't hate the so-called white man Esau Edom, man. But God hates him. And General Yohanan did the same thing when he was I think he was being addressed by the ADL or whoever the hell it was. Do you guys hate white people? We don't hate white people, but God hates white people. But she was completely going off and tucked his nuts and tucked his tail, man. Here it is. Hey, if you are in the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, hey, whatever the Lord hates, you hate, man. And if the Lord hates Esau Edom, then guess what? We hate Esau Edom, and we have every right to hate Esau Edom. Now, that word hate don't mean that, that doesn't have to equate to violence or to something physical. It just means that it's something that you stay away from. You have a strong dislike for. You don't trust. Whenever you see him, you make sure that you don't, you try as much as possible not to engage in something that you hate. Like for instance, if Elder Yashawama uses this example a lot. Like that's like for instance, if I hate cranberries, whenever somebody presents me with cranberry, I'm gonna be like, oh no, I'm cool. I don't want it. I'm not even gonna have it in my house. I don't even want it anywhere around me because I just don't like cranberries. And I don't mean whenever I see a bunch of cranberries, I just go and just attack it and beat it and throw it, and see a can of cranberries in the store, I just go ape shit and just start beating the hell out of it with a bat and throwing the can on the floor. It just means I do everything in my possible to stay away from it, man. To be, and that's how we look at Esau. We have every right to have hatred for this man and not to trust this damn devil, man. Look at all he's done to us, man. And look at all that he's planning to do unto us, man. So you got a lot of these guys out here tucking their tails, man, and keeping it very PC because they don't want to lose their platform. They don't want to be, they don't want to have Esau to have any reason to disassociate themselves with them. And ultimately, a lot of you niggas love the damn white man. All right? Let's keep it a buck, man. It says, and the prophets divine for money, yet will they lean upon Yahweh and say, is not Yahweh among us? None evil can come upon us. You see? And you guys, a lot of these, guys are out here in that spirit. Oh, the Lord is with us. The Lord is dealing with us. Look at all this progress we made. Look at all these people. Look at all this. We got a 1,000,000-man march, going on there, trying to appease the Kyrie Irving and shit. Thinking you was gonna get some shekels out of it. And that nigga didn't even acknowledge y'all, man. Like I said, they got this PC image. You got these PC Israelites out here who are keeping back their sword from blood, man. And anytime they get on TV or they get on the media, they get real PC. They get real politically correct, man. And they don't come out here and tell Esau the straight truth, man. Hey, now the Lord's gonna deal with you guys, man. Because you ain't coming correct, man. Shit, look when Yahushua was amongst Pilate, he told him exactly what it was, man. He didn't hold no punches. He didn't tuck his tail. He didn't keep it PC. He told him straight up what the hell it was, man. And we supposed to be in that same spirit, man. You got this, we ain't no cowards, we ain't no cowards. But when Esau rolled up on you niggas, your voice get high, you tuck your shirt in, all that rah-rah, I ain't never been a fake Jew, I ain't this, I ain't that. You tuck tail and you PC it up, man. So you don't offend this damn devil. It says, therefore shall Zion for your sake be plowed as a field, and Jerusalem shall become heaps, and the mountain of the house as the high places of the forest. You see? So you're going to cause a lot of these jakes to get destroyed, man. You see? Let's get another precept. Yeah, I got a couple more. Let's get this. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 13. It says this is 2 Corinthians 11:13. It says, "For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Hamashiach." See, they have that going on out here, man. That's why I said. That's why you got to have your spiritual antennas up so that you can locate these guys, man. That's why you got to watch these individuals. You know, you can't be just gullible and just being deceived by everybody that says Shalom or have Hebrew Israelite in their title or that says the names of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. You know, you can't just take it for face value that they in the right spirit and they have the 100% truth and they teaching you the right way. A lot of these guys are agents. A lot of these guys have sold out. A lot of these guys are high-minded. And a lot of them are working deceitfully, man. And they're not giving you the 100% truth. A lot of them are proud. They can't be corrected. You know? It says, for such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Hamashiach. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. See, you got a lot of Israelites that fall under that same banner, and that's coming in that same spirit. See? This is Romans chapter 16, verse 17. Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause division and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them. And that's something that Great Millstone always do. We always mark those guys that are going off, that are doing things that are just totally off in the spirit, as a warning and as a act of love to correct particular individuals. But of course, they're going to take it as a hate. They're going to take it as we're trying to attack them and we hate them. But ultimately, we really do that for brothers that are in Great Millstone, so that you can be aware, so that you don't be deceived, or you don't be led astray by these guys and their false teachings and their false doctrines, man. So you got to mark them, right? Let's get that word for mark, which we always go into. So you got to mark these guys. That's why we do a lot of these rebuke and correction videos, so that we can spare the flock, man. Because the Lord has made, starting with the elders and the apostles and brothers that are under them, that have brothers in their camps, the Lord has made us watchers over your souls, man. So we got to make sure that if you guys come in contact with certain information and it's not right, that so that you can be able not to be deceived by that shit, man. Because you got a lot of guys out here that are waiting to deceive. Now, word mark should be scopeo. Yep. For that word mark in Romans 16 and 17, it says the word is scopeo. It says to look at, observe, contemplate, to mark, to fix one's eyes upon, direct one's attention to anyone. It says to look, to take heed to thyself. You see? So when we call out particular guys, and we call out a lot of these guys teaching wayward doctrines, we're marking them so that you can be we can watch them and fix your eye on them so that you don't be deceived. We're giving you a warning from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Look, this guy ain't teaching the right. He teaches some bullshit. He's going off on this. He's going off on that. And we got to mark those guys because they're teaching a doctrine that is contrary to what we've been taught. It says, now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them. See? That's why we avoid the IUIC. We avoid Nate. Now we know that he teaches some things that are correct, but ultimately we know when he's going off on particular things, man, because he's been marked on their different doctrines and different things that when they're teaching, they're going off on. You know, and it's not just the IUIC, it's a lot of these other Israelite groups. It's anybody, these Christians, anybody that's coming up against the doctrine which we have been taught by the elders and the apostles, we got to mark those individuals, man. That's why we got to reprove and rebuke with long suffering. And we do it hoping that these guys will see the error of their ways and correct their doctrines. But again, a lot of these guys got pride, a lot of these guys got big egos, and the last thing they want to be told is where they're going off at, man. And like I said, they immediately call you a hater, you hate your brother, why are you bothering me? I ain't bothering you. But, you know, that ain't how Yahweh Bashem Yahushua set it up, man. Guys got to be corrected. You're going to be corrected. People are going to make mistakes. But again, you have a lot of false prophets out here, and it's the job of the men of the Lord to mark those false prophets and to, correct where they're going off at, so that you can be fully furnished and in the spirit and not being deceived. It says, for they that are such serve not our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, but their own belly, and by good words and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the simple. You see, and that's why we mark particular individuals. That's why we correct certain doctrines, man. You see? Read that again. It says but by fair speeches and fair words they deceive the heart of the simple. And if you don't know no better, like I said, a lot of these guys are slick. Nate is slick, man. You know, he'll come with his little twisted breakdowns of the MOTB and what this is and what that is, and he'll be real slick and real clever with it, man. And if you're not rooted and grounded fully in his truth, you can be deceived by that shit. You would think that he's telling the whole truth. And then, especially with all the gimmicks, he's in the background with the beautiful banner in the back. They're sitting on the damn throne chairs. They got the lions on the table, the menorah. They got the Hollywood. All the good. The video with all the fixings and the trimmings and the lightning bolts flashing on the screen. And if you're a simple, you'll be deceived by that, man. And you'll be like, he's got to be a man of the Lord. Look at him. Look how his beard is shining. Look at his little afro puff. Look at the background. Man, he got to be a man of the Lord. You see, but a lot of our people are simple. A lot of our people, they judge things on the outward appearance and they're not spiritually discerning enough. It says, for your obedience is come unto all men. Where was I? For your obedience is come abroad unto all men, and I am glad therefore on your behalf. But yet I would have you wise unto that which is good, and simple concerning that which is evil. See? So you got to be wise, in all things, man. And like I said, a lot of these guys just popping up out of the woodwork. So you guys, another thing your brothers got to be careful of. You see these different Hebrew Israelite teachers just popping up on the scene, and all of a sudden they got 25,000 followers and somewhat of a huge following. Don't let that deceive you, man. A lot of that is fake. A lot of that is bots. And we know that YouTube, they mess with the algorithms, man. They'll let the false prophets videos be the first ones that you see. So sometimes you got to really dig, and you got to put the name of whoever page it is and exactly as it is written. Otherwise, you'll have a hard time finding it. So whenever you type in Israelite group, they'll give you the IUIC first. A lot of these camps that are going off, they'll be in the main searches. They'll pop up first. So then you'll watch those and you're thinking, oh, these guys got to have it because look at all the views on there. So you can't be deceived by that either, man. So like I said, you got to, judge the spirit by the spirit. You got to be spiritually discerned. You can't just be so gullible and just believe, oh, yeah, that got to be the truth. No, man, you got to really analyze it. You got to really sit down and be diligent. You got to look into these words. You got to go into the Greek. You got to go into the Hebrew, man. You got to do a diligent search, man. And that's why, like we said, you got to stick with the men of Great Millstone, man. Look at the IUIC. They don't even go into the Greek and the Hebrew. They said you can't explain it to the English, then you can't break it down. Why would you even want to be involved with a group like that, man? That's very lazy-minded, and that's very base level, man. Hey, the scriptures is deep, man. You got to go real deep into these scriptures. You got to look into these words. That's how you get a foundation and a better and a deeper understanding of what's going on. You got to go into the commentaries. You can't just go in there and just, whatever your leaders say, you obey. You got to be like the church of Berea, which the elders and the apostles have been harping on that a lot lately this week. You want to be like the church of Berea. You want to make sure you're searching the scriptures to make sure that whatever they're saying is so. Ain't nothing wrong with doing your own research. That's how you further get solidified and you further get upon a level. All right? Let me get one more and then I'm going to close it. Let's get that. This is 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 1. It says, but there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privily shall bring in damnable heresies. You see, you have that going on. Like I said, the virgin birth. God's telling you can have sex on the Sabbath, man. You know, these guys are telling you that what do you say? The new moon is what? The new moon is the full moon. You know, the virgin birth. Edomites can make it. All the 12 tribes, the black-only Israelites. We got to take up arms and have a Hebrew defense unit. What else is out here? John the Baptist wasn't in the truth. You can do it in the BUTT. You know, what else these niggas out here teaching? We don't know that we're going to get the names of Yahweh Shem Yahushua in the kingdom of heaven. All type of wayward and false teachers out here teaching all type of nonsense, man. You see? So the scriptures are passionately telling us there are going to be a lot of false prophets, man. Like I said, you're going to have more false prophets than you're going to have true prophets, man. It says, because why? Because ultimately the Lord has made these false prophets to be a stumbling block, and the Lord don't want all Israel to wake up. The Lord wants a lot of our people to be deceived and to be, deceived by these false prophets out here. It says, who privily shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that brought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. You see? So the Lord has false prophets set up out here to deceive and to lead people astray. And you're going to have many that's going to follow their pernicious ways, man. Like I said, that's why, we just telling you the truth. You better stick with Great Millstone, man. Don't be camp hopping. Don't be out here hopping from camp to camp trying to get information grabbing, because you're going to be confused, man. You know, like I said, a lot of us Israelite groups, a lot of us teach a lot of the same things, but there are some differences, man. And a lot of it is fine-tuned things, you know. It says, and many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of, and through covetousness shall they with feigned words make merchandise of you. You have that going on now. Like I said, you got an Israelite group worth $100 million. Oh, they're making merchandise of you, man. Charging you $500, $800 to go to a Passover. You got to buy the camp starter kits. You got to buy fringes. You got to buy T-shirts. You got hats. You got to buy Bibles. You know, you got to buy breakdowns. These niggas making all type of move off of you, man. So you got to be careful. It says, whose judgment now of a long time lingereth not, and their damnation slumbereth not. See? So you got a lot of false prophets out here, man. That's going to make merchandise of you. That's going to tell you smooth things. That's going to teach world-friendly doctrines. That's going to make this thing to where it's going to be more palatable for you to be into this thing, man, because they're going to mix a lot of the worldly things with it. Like I said, they'll let you rap. You can get the lineups. You can have the long hair. You know, you can have sex on the Shabbat, man. You know, they got the permanent Friday, Saturday, Friday sundown, and Saturday sundown, Sabbath. You got the cookouts, you got the parties, you got the wife giveaways, you know, you got the barbecues, or you got the award shows, the fashion shows, all this worldly gimmick shit that they've incorporated into this truth to make it be this world-friendly Christian Israelite with an Israelite Christian doctrine with an Israelite spin on it, man. So you got to be careful. You got to be wary. Like I said, there's a lot of false prophets out here, man. And if you ain't trying the spirit by the spirit, a lot of you are going to be deceived by these guys, man. So at the end of the day, make sure whatever group you're listening to, that you're going into whatever they're saying, they're teaching, look it up for yourself, man. Follow along with the Bible, go into these different Greek and Hebrew and Latin words, and get a firm understanding, man. And Lord willing, the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua is with you. You won't be led astray. You won't be following down the path of destruction, nor will you be deceived or getting played out here, man. But only the elect is going to be not be deceived, nor shall they deceive the very elect, man. So I'm gonna close it there. Lord willing, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that was edifying. So I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, and bishops of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy be multiplied on all you brethren teaching His word in all sincerity and truth. To the hopeful elect, Shalom.